In U.S. political campaigns, the period between Labor Day and the November election is known as the final stretch, and it has begun. Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz is now intensifying the attacks on Donald Trump. At a rally in Wisconsin, Walz portrayed Trump as a narcissistic billionaire who only cares about making rich people even richer and on the backs of the working class.
Look, this guy has made it clear how he stands. He's sitting down at Mar-a-Lago after he got elected president, and this was his exact quote. He's talking to a bunch of folks at Mar-a-Lago. You're rich as hell, and we're going to give you a tax cut. At the same time, he was telling workers they get paid too much already. That's who this guy is. You tell me who in Wisconsin is sitting around saying, damn, I wish they'd give billionaires tax cuts and screw me over. Damn, I wish they'd take my health care away. I wish they'd underfund my public school. I wish they would make my job more difficult and more dangerous. And then at the end of the day, I wish they'd make me work till I'm 75 years old. No one's saying that. No one's asking for that agenda. What they're asking for is to be treated fairly with dignity. That's what we have.
The Minnesota governor and Vice President Kamala Harris are also ratcheting up the jabs at Trump over social issues. The Democrats have repeatedly hit Donald Trump over his appointment of 3 Supreme Court justices who voted to overturn Roe v. Wade and the constitutional right to abortion. Trump has repeatedly bragged about the achievement. Well, Walz said that Trump and other Republicans are looking to control people's personal lives.
Trump and Vance, when they talk about freedom, means government should have the freedom to invade every corner of our life. They talk about small government, small enough to be in your bedroom, small enough to be in your exam room, small enough to be in your library, telling you the things that you should make decisions about. So let's be very clear. Where I come from and where you come from as neighbors, we respect differences. That's your opinion. Look, we're sitting here together, Brewers and Twins fans, Vikings and Packers. Look, we respect it. But on things like health care and what books I read and democracy, we all live by that very simple golden rule. Mind your own damn business. Mind your own business.
Even Republicans are now admitting that Governor Walz is really good at these rallies, stump speeches, and national campaigning. According to polls and survey data, Walz's approval rating remains about 15 to 18 points higher than his Republican counterpart, J.D. Vance. But it is the top of the ticket that usually determines U.S. presidential elections. So much of the media attention down the stretch will be on Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Trump continues to get blasted over the former president's relationship with the military. Last week, Donald Trump posed thumbs up at graves at Arlington National Cemetery. Trump previously told his White House chief of staff that war dead were suckers and losers. And years ago, Trump publicly disparaged the late senator and Vietnam POW John McCain. Well, over the weekend, Trump's nephew, Fred Trump, weighed in on his uncle.
I know many people who were in the military, and I had the pleasure of speaking on an interview with National Defense Radio, which goes out to the armed services. And I told the truth. I basically told this story, and I said, he just doesn't give a shit about them. He just doesn't. It's the great Godfather 2, one of the last scenes when Sonny says, "Country ain't your blood, kid." And Michael Corleone says, "No, I don't believe that." Donald believes in Donald.
Donald believes in Donald, and his nephew says the former president could not care less about current and former members of the U.S. military. And that is from Trump's own nephew. The controversies over Trump and the military, as well as the hammering of Donald Trump on women's reproductive rights and tax cuts for the rich, are having an impact. Donald Trump's likability remains underwater. In other words, more voters disapprove of Trump than approve. So Trump's only options are to try to become less controversial and more likable in the next 9 weeks, or Donald Trump can try and make Americans hate Kamala Harris. The Trump campaign appears to be focused now on the latter and is trying to portray Harris as a left-wing extremist who is a radical and subversive threat to America. Will that stick? So far, it's not working, which is why polls show Kamala Harris beating Donald Trump nationally and in key battleground states as the most important and intense part of this campaign begins. By the way, Donald Trump recently got ridiculed in biblical fashion.
I had God on my side. I felt that.
Days after the assassination attempt, Donald Trump said it was God who saved him. Now, Trump is taking it even further, saying God is on his side in the election. Headline: God believes that. Trump tells Dr. Phil Heavenly Father wants him to win because he has more to do. Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.